Hi there, it's Yukiko, and I wanted to read to you today a 3 minute or so excerpt from the story that I wrote for the Love Notes Anthology. It's Love Notes from the Soul Anthology that came out February 28th, and I hope you'll be able to have the chance to read it. There is a link to the book um, at the end of the video. So here is my submission to the anthology, and it's called Don't Be Afraid of the Wolf. Miracles abound in my life now. There are messages coming in from the Mother Goddess, the divine source, through trees and birds, water and air, through the earth and stones. But it was not always like this. No, I think of those dark, dark days in my late 30s when my father was dying a slow and painful death from cancer in Tokyo, and my husband, with whom I had built a life in Los Angeles, told me he was leaving me for a better woman. One day, while I was back in Tokyo, tending to my dying father in hospital and completely exhausted from lack of sleep, I pulled over by the side of the road. I could not drive an inch further. My father had been in a coma for over a month, and I could see him hanging in there only by a thread. The sheer grief over his suffering and his imminent loss engulfed me. There on a side street in Tokyo, I curled up into a small ball inside my parents' Honda Accord and howled and wept my fear, my rage, my hurt, my grief, my confusion, and utter panic at losing the one parent who was the one I could communicate with. It was at that moment, a scenery so vivid, I could have sworn I was right there, unfolded before me. I was lying in the white snow. It was freezing. Everything was white. The sky was heavily clouded, hanging low with snow silently falling. Far in the distance was a dark line of trees, a forest. Then out of that forest came something moving towards me. As it grew closer, I could see that it was an enormous wolf. This is how I die, I thought. I had no energy or will left in me to try and run. So I simply watched this wolf coming closer and closer until it stood right by me, staring into my eyes with her piercing gray eyes. I closed my eyes, wondering if this would hurt. I felt her breath on me. Then this giant she-wolf did the unthinkable. She lay down and wrapped herself around me. She let me suckle on her, keeping me warm with her radiating heat and fierce protection. I had never, ever been held in that kind of care and belonging. I felt so safe that I fell asleep in her embrace, a dreamless sleep so healing. I woke up with a new energy and clarity. That day, in the Honda, on a side street in Tokyo, was the beginning of a new reality for me. The huge grief and trauma of what was happening in my world had somehow weakened the dividing wall between my waking world reality and dreamtime reality, and created a portal into what the Celts call the other world. I soon realized that I could access this other world almost at will. I could go there any time and call upon the she-wolf to come and cuddle me, and she would. It was a lifesaver. Have you had experiences like that? Or dreams that felt more real than real, which helped shift your reality and brought you deeper comfort or understanding in the end? We all have different entry points, and they are specific to our life lessons of the soul. No one way is better or worse. We may have preferences, but that's all. It took many years of various teachers and mentors and trainings, both of this world and the other world, to start to gain more clarity about what that experience was and what I had continued to experience. I realized over time that wisdom is not outside, but within each of us, as is the source of love. It seems that when we look for quick fixes, we can fall into deception and manipulated realities of others that do not consider what is for our highest good. I also know now that whatever challenges come our way, it is a huge portal into breaking through and beyond old beliefs that are holding us captive. Trust yourself to walk each step, especially through the dark underground places. Help is right there by your side. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed that. And that was just a very short, small excerpt from my piece. And there are 30 authors represented in this anthology for the transformation and the real experiences of transformation in each of the 30 authors. So the link is below. I hope you'll be able to go and check it out. Thank you, and blessed be.